Oh yeah, overrated. Ooh, overrated. Oh, I'm already saying overrated. This is your guy, but go ahead,
Bro. No. I'm gonna say overrated, and I'm gonna say this. Okay, bro. Here's where accountability comes in. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
We put so much blame on Vincent Kennedy McMahon and the fucking gimp suit. We put so much blame on Vinnie Mac. And at the time, rightfully so. But now I'm starting to truly and honestly believe, and this has been circulating on social media for years now, what Adam Cole said, and I'm going to reference it about the lights and the girl and the entrance and everything like that. And now am I going to disregard some of the bangers that Karrion Kross has had in the past? No. Am I going to disregard some of the huge feuds he's been involved in? No. Well, bro, that has been years removed now. And again, I do agree to a degree. You could say, even on this current run back, you could say the booking. But he's had more than enough matches. He's had more than enough promos and vignettes to get the crowd behind him. A lot of people say it could be the hair, could be the whole cop-looking vibe he's giving. I don't know. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think if you strip away the entrance, you strip away Scarlett, you don't have anything right now in Karrion Kross, at least not in WWE. At least not in WWE. And it hurts me to say this because I wanted to blame Vince so bad for Vince being the sole reason or the main reason that Karrion Kross, his stock has plummeted. But bro, Triple H brought you back almost 2 years ago now, and you still ain't done shit to convince the people. What are your thoughts?
Well, it is Vince's fault, and that's the reason why his stock hasn't risen because no one can forget what we saw. We watched the dude be a legit badass in NXT, and then we watched him come up to the main roster, and he lost in the stupidest way to Jeff Hardy. Like he should have, like if he was going to lose that match, he should have lost the match due to disqualification from beating the shit out of Jeff Hardy. That's how you build a monster heel. Karrion Kross should not have been brought up because let's be real, Vince did not give a shit about NXT. He didn't care about none of the people. He didn't care about how they were presented, and we saw that when he brought up DIY. He did not give a damn about how this guy was being presented. Now, I already said Karrion Kross is overrated, but his NXT run was good enough as far as being that monster kind of heel. He didn't need to be too crazy. He was powerful. He was hard hitting, and he was trying to hurt you and beat you. It was nothing else pretty about what he does. Him getting to the main roster was a joke because he came out in that gimp suit and he wasn't winning. It's not like this was letting him win. He kept losing. Matter of fact, I think he lost like 2-3 times before he actually won a match. And it's like, bro, you stripped away that legitimacy of that badass that he could have been. And I'm not saying he would have been great or what he could have did in the ring, but just the thought of him looking like a monster champion, you discredit that. And then you got rid of him, and then he left and went and did his own thing. And he tried to continue being that guy, try to be that guy that was a Karrion Kross before the gimp suit. And it seemed to work for him on the independent. But when he got back to WWE, people remembered who he was. People remembered that first run. And I feel like it never lifted off of him. Like I feel like that just carried over. So when he did come back, and then he started losing again, and it was like, bro, it's like, okay, now you're this badass. You're supposed to be different. You got your girl back. You got the entrance. You're still missing something. You're missing that believability that we needed to have. And honestly, man, it never manifested for him. So yeah, I don't think he's all that great. I think there could have been something he could have had something, but it never worked for him in WWE. And I can understand Triple H wanting to bring people back, but unfortunately, him, Hit Roll, quite a few other people, like the heel run in NXT was underrated, but his main roster run, it hasn't worked for him, and it's people we just cannot let go of that get suit. We can't buy in, and even when he came back, he wasn't doing much. Like he had one good match with what was that, with Drew McIntyre, and then he lost, and then he lost, and then he lost, and it's like then he won and then he lost. So it's like, bro, I don't know, but Earl says, man, Kross is highly underrated. I said it before, his character requires a darker persona, which I felt was great for NXT. That's why I said I think his NXT run was great. He
Yeah,
should be
especially with the smaller crowd, and then the way the lighting and everything, it just really
right.
that aura. Yeah,
Earl says he should be booked along the lines of Undertaker and Bray. He isn't being allowed to do his thing while having to take all in the L's. In my eyes, it's the L's that's made his character not worth a damn. It's the L's in that Gentsu. Again, man, we were pissed off when Jeff Hardy beat him. We're like,
yeah,
dude, why does Jeff Hardy just come out and beat this guy? Jeff Hardy ain't doing nothing important. Hell, Jeff Hardy just came back from a DUI. He ain't finna do nothing important. Like you punished Karrion Kross when you should have had him come out and just slaughter Jeff Hardy. He should have just beat the crap out of Jeff Hardy and walked away. That would have made him look more legit. Even if you want to say he's not that great in ring, that feel would have been different for him. And I don't think people would have been so quick to dismiss him. So I agree with what Earl is saying, but I feel like everything we've gotten since then has been overrated. He's not the guy that we knew him to be in NXT, because even in NXT when he was fighting Keith Lee, when he's fighting Adam Cole, when he's fighting Finn Balor, like, dude, man, he was putting on good matches. He was handling his business. He was looking like the badass that he is. And since he's been back, man, we haven't gotten that.
absolutely, absolutely. No, I agree. And again, like I said, man, I'm not gonna disregard his run previously either. But right now, definitely had to give our thoughts. But I do want to see what they do with him. Because I do feel like if given the proper push, if given the proper presentation, he can have a major run. You just, hey, we've seen people come out of nowhere, right? We've seen Sami Zayn look like he got relegated to being a joke, and then has come back and become the face of the company for a brief moment in time. Hell, at one point in time, people thought he was going to be Roman Reigns. You wouldn't have thought that a year and a half ago when he's at WrestleMania wrestling fucking Johnny Knoxville. So, no, trust me, things could turn around on a dime. Things could definitely turn around on a dime.
Oh, they most definitely can, man. But for him, it's been long enough, and it's just not what it is, man. It's just not what it is. Earl says, too cold. Don't give me that spiel about the suit when you have a guy like Cody being pushed who did the same BS. Yeah, but here's the thing about that, Earl. We all knew the Stardust thing was trash because we all thought the broken, the arrogant Cody Rhodes, you know what I'm saying? That was the Cody Rhodes we wanted. The one that was coming out looking at himself in the mirror, like, what was the mustache, Cody was different, and Cody left for that. But Cody left, did the independent thing, and came back bigger. Like, even regardless if you still feel Cody is another, his character, his presence, everything was bigger. He was basically a household name that people were putting their investments behind. No one is doing that for Kross. No one did that for Kross. Kross ain't put himself in that percentage. Now you can say, well, Cody has a legendary name attached to him, which is very true. Which is very true. So that's obviously a big push for Cody. But bruh, Cody has come back to be a top tier guy. People are cheering for Cody. Cody is having high merchandise sales. Kross has not done any of that. He left. He had a moment, but unfortunately, even though people know that Cody was Stardust, we knew it was a joke, and he talks about it being a joke, which is why I think that helps him. Kross, on the other hand, you're trying to just make us forget what this guy was, and we know we already saw it, and he's not doing anything to make it different. But Earl, like I said, man, I feel like his first run was underrated, but everything else is overrated, man. I'm not seeing anything, and even now, what he's been doing recently, I'm not seeing it whatsoever. And of course, the champ says, man, rest in peace, Chandler, Matthew Perry. Yeah, that was kind of that came out of kind of nowhere, man. One of the friend stars died the other day, but Booking is more to blame for Kross than anything else. I mean, I've gave Booking the problem. That's why I say, man, I feel like Vince killed his character, and even him trying to come back. But when he came back, they weren't really putting him in a position to really do too much at all. Like, I mean, who is he fighting with? He wasn't really fighting with anybody. He fought Drew McIntyre and lost, and then he fought Drew McIntyre again and lost. So it's like, dude, how the hell are you this badass? You come back and you lose. You're losing. And it's like after those losses, it's like he just never came up. The character, the promos, none of it is just not sticking with the people.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, we will see, but I think maybe, like you said, maybe if he addressed that whole situation when he first got back, maybe it's like, okay, cool. Like he maybe cut a promo on the whole gimp suit thing, and then all right, now we can move forward. But again, it's kind of like, yeah, we're gonna flash you like you. Nah, not today.
But they got but like Earl says, book it is more of the blame, which is why I feel like. But that's kind of like, remember, I said what you say about one thing could be said about another. You can say the same thing about Britt Baker. Booking was part of the issue, but still there was things that she did to overlook that bad booking. He hasn't done anything to me to overlook the bad booking. If he was to figure that out, then I think it would be more of a closer to an underrated than overrated. But right now, it's sticking at overrated.